Margaret wrote to me this week saying, "It's not funny." She described how her 89-year-old mother suffered 2 falls leading to hospital admissions due to the lack of nursing care, and went on to say, "My mother is worth more than this." What action will the Prime Minister take to stop the neglect of older people, which ends up in forcing them to take A&E admissions when they should be cared for at home or in a care home?
Of course, social care is an area of concern, and social care is a key issue for many people. That's why the government has introduced the Better Care Fund. That's why the government has introduced the social care precept for local authorities. And we're encouraging the working together of the health service and the local authorities to deal with precisely the issues he's raised on social care and bed blocking. But I will just say this to the right honourable gentleman. We've introduced the Better Care Fund and the social care precept. Let's just look at what Labour did in their 13 years. They said they'd deal with social care in the 97 manifesto, introduced a Royal Commission in 1999, a Green Paper in 2005, the Oneness Review in 2006, said they'd sorted in the CSR of 2007, and another Green Paper in 2009. 13 years and they did nothing.
Mr. Speaker, as the Prime Minister well knows, health spending trebled under the last Labour government. The levels of satisfaction with the National Health Service were at their highest ever in 2010. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, the government proposed that patients may have to show passports or other ID to access non-emergency health care. Has the government considered that the impact of this on elderly people? The last census showed us that 9.5 million people in this country don't have passports. Rather than distracting people with divisive and impractical policies, could the Prime Minister provide the NHS and social care with the money that it needs to care for the people who need the support?
Over the course of this Parliament, the government will be spending £500 billion on the National Health Service. The right honourable gentleman asks about a process to ensure that people who are receiving NHS treatment are entitled to receive that NHS treatment. For many years there has been a concern about health tourism, about people turning up in the UK, accessing health services and not paying for them. We want to make sure that those who are entitled to use the services are indeed able to see those free at the point of delivery, but that we deal with health tourism and those who should be paying for the use of our health service.
The reality is, Mr. Speaker, under this government there are 6,000 fewer mental health nurses. There are a record 3.9 million people on NHS waiting lists. All of us who visit A&E departments know the stress the staff are under and that the waiting time is getting longer and longer. And that there are 1 million people in this country not receiving the social care that they need. So instead of looking for excuses and scapegoats, shouldn't the Prime Minister be ensuring that health and social care is properly resourced and properly funded to take away the stress and fear that people face in old age over social care and the stress that is placed on our very hard-working NHS and social care staff?
Billions of pounds extra into social care through the social care precept and the Better Care Fund. £500 billion being spent on the National Health Service. A record level of investment in mental health in the National Health Service. But there's a fundamental...
Order. Members must not shout down or attempt to shout down the Prime Minister. The question has been asked and it was heard, and the answer must be heard. The Prime Minister.
Well, there's a fundamental point that the right honourable gentleman refrains from mentioning. It is this. We can only afford to pay for the National Health Service and for social care if we have a strong economy creating wealth. And that's precisely what he's going to hear from the Chancellor of the Exchequer in a few minutes' time.